homemakers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Shirley, and in today's video we're going to talk about how we as homemakers can influence the family budget. When you don't work outside the home, you can feel like you can't help your family financially, but today I'm going to show you some real ways that you can impact your family's finances. The best way that you can do this is to know your budget. I'm sure you've heard this before, but it's important to know your budget. How much is coming in and how much is going out. You'll know what you can put aside for credit card debt if you have any, but more importantly, you'll know how much you can actually afford. To help you guys do this, I'm sharing with you my free monthly budget guide. You can use this each month to track all of your finances so you know exactly what you can afford every month. Here are a few suggestions to keep you on budget, and in a few seconds, I'm going to share with you real ways that you can cut costs as a homemaker. My first suggestion is to know your income patterns. For instance, my husband works in technology sales. So the first half of the year, he tends to make less in commission than he does the second half of the year. And that's because companies are holding tight to their budget for any unexpected expenses. For the second half of the year, those same companies have to use up all of that budget, because if not, they're going to lose it. It won't roll over the next year. So he tends to make more money the second half of the year. And because I know that, we plan our budget accordingly. My second suggestion is live within your means. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Many people I know drive Teslas, take European vacations, and live in bigger houses than I do. If we try to live that lifestyle, we would constantly live in debt. Understand and come to peace with the fact that everyone's life, spending habits, and budgets are different. What might work for one family may not work for the next, but frugal living, cutting costs, saving money, all of that is universal. Here are just a few ways that you can cut costs at home. I've broken them down into categories, and we're gonna get started with food because that is one of the biggest expenses that we can control. The first thing I have to say with food is cook from scratch. I admit I am not the best cook, but with an Instant Pot I got on Prime Day a few years back and also Pinterest, I have learned how to drastically reduce our food budget. And we don't eat out nearly as much as we used to because now I can cook meals at home. And that leads me to meal planning. You'll be less likely to order out if you know what you're eating and when. I don't always stick to what we're eating on this specific day, so what I plan for Tuesday, we may eat on Friday, but that's not really the point. The point is, I have a plan of what we're eating, and I know that I've shopped for the ingredients to make those meals. Another way I like to keep our food budget down and also make my meal planning easy is I usually cook once, but we eat twice. I will double a recipe and cook enough to have leftovers for the next night. This saves us so much money. Instead of buying multiple ingredients for 7 meals a week, I only buy enough for 4 meals, and I make sure that those ingredients are items that are on sale. Another food tip I have is for you to shop sales and stock up when prices are low. Because I meal plan around those weekly sales, I'm buying enough for 2 meals with those sale items, and I can save a ton on our groceries. Also, I try to have a no shopping week, about every 4 to 6 weeks. And what I'll do is shop my pantry, my fridge, and my freezer. I look for things that are gonna start to go bad soon, and that might mean that we're going to all have something a little different at dinner that night, but at least all of the food is getting eaten before it goes bad, and it also really cuts down on our food budget. My last tip in the food department is to drink water. So much more cost effective than drinking sodas or juices, and it's actually going to keep you hydrated. But skip the bottled water. Invest in a quality water filter, or like us, we order 5-gallon buckets from Poland Springs. Even with the low water cooler rental cost, I still save more money than buying bottled water, and it works out to be a lot less than when we would buy juice and soda. My next category is laundry, but before we get started on that, let me know, what is your best money saving tip? Share it in the comments below so we could all save. Okay, on to laundry. My first tip with laundry is to wash your clothes in cold water. Hot water costs more in energy, and cold water is actually better on your delicates. My next tip is don't buy those expensive fabric softeners. Vinegar will get the job done just as well, and your clothes aren't going to smell like vinegar, I promise, and you can also use vinegar in other areas of the house. My next one is let your clothes air dry. When I was a kid, all the backyards had clotheslines, and I remember when my mom got her deck built and she couldn't have her clothesline anymore and she was so upset. And I couldn't understand, like, what's the big deal? Just throw them in the dryer. Well, fast forward to running at home on my own, and that dryer costs a ton of money. But there are other ways that you can air dry your clothes if you don't have a clothesline. And my first one is use a drying rack like this one. I got this one at IKEA for less than 15 bucks, and I'll link mine down below. I have 2 of them and they have saved us so much money. If you don't have much room for a drying rack inside your house, you can get creative. Hang them on the shower curtain rod in your bathroom, or heck, when I first got married, we didn't have a dryer, only a washer. So I would hang our clothes on our kitchen cabinet handles. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, let's move on to cleaning. There are so many ways that you can save money in the cleaning department. And last month I did a whole video on flour sack towels, and you guys seem to really like it. And I talked about all the different ways that you could use it. And one of those was to clean with. These towels are inexpensive, but better yet, they're actually reusable, and so they'll save you a lot of money. If you haven't seen that video, I'll have it linked down below, and when you're done watching this, you can watch that one for more money-saving tips. Sticking with cleaning, think about making your own cleaners. I've made so many effective DIY cleaners over the years, and they've only cost me pennies to make. Things like carpet refresheners, all-purpose sprays, toilet bowl cleaner. I made you guys a Printables so you guys can have all of my favorite DIY cleaning recipes. There's a link in the description box so you can try it out for yourself. By combining DIY cleaners and reusable cleaning cloths, you can save hundreds in cleaning supplies over the years. Next is clothes and household items. As homemakers, we usually have the responsibility of clothing our families and buying what our home needs, like pots and pans and other necessities. My suggestion is to shop at secondhand stores and end of the season sales. I love the thrift stores like Goodwill and Salvation Army, but don't be fooled into thinking that you can only save money by buying clothes unless they're secondhand. I have found some great deals during the end of season sales in stores like Target and Walmart. In September and October, I hit up the sales racks hard. I size up for my kids, and when spring and summer comes the following year, I already have a full wardrobe of brand new clothes that I've bought for only a few dollars each. And I buy their fall and winter clothes at Christmas because usually the stores are having great sales for the holidays. Now, I will shop at the thrift stores for clothes, but usually it's for those more expensive high-end items like name brand clothes and coats, boots, things that we'll only use for a short season. Those are the types of items that I typically buy at our thrift store. But I do buy most of our household items at secondhand stores. Kitchen tools, home decor pieces, those are always a good find at a thrift store. As well as furniture pieces that just might need a little DIY, some TLC, and you can give them a new life. Another way to save on household items is to switch from disposable to reusable. Look around your house. What are you buying only to throw it away when you're done using it? It may cost a little more upfront, but you're going to save big in the long run. Things like bar mop towels and flour sack towels can replace paper towels, and basket-style coffee filters can replace the paper ones. You get the hint. Instead of literally throwing your money away, buy reusable instead. If you enjoyed this homemaking video, then make sure you hit the notification bell, because in my next video, I'm going to talk about tips on how to survive as a modern homemaker. Things are much different than when our grandmothers were homemakers, so I'll be sharing my best tips for the 21st century housewife. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. But in the meantime, while you wait for that video, don't forget to check out these 2 videos right here. I talk a lot about homemaking, cleaning, organizing, and life in general, so make sure to check out these 2 videos while you wait. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.